and welcome to episode two of Mara Knits, a podcast. I'm Mara and I live in the northeast of England, and I can't believe this is episode 2. I did episode 1 and I loaded it up and I've had some wonderful feedback, and I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who took the time to message me and leave comments and just generally be incredibly supportive and encourage me to keep going with this. If you're a new viewer and this is the first time you found us, hi, welcome, and just in case you're wondering, yes, I am terrified doing this, but I'm going to do it anyway. So, what have I got to share with you in this episode? Well, I've got one FO, one finished object, one work in progress, so that may seem like not a lot. And I'm also going to share with you a project that I've been doing for almost 2 years now, which is really dear to my heart, and I'll share that with you later on. Okay, so finish objects. Well, I haven't got that many because the last 10 days have been manic. There's no other way of putting it, absolutely manic, but in a good way. So in the last episode I showed you some red heart sock yarn that I found in a lovely little shop called Gencraft in Hartlepool. Now this is an American yarn. It's 75% wool, 25% polyamide, I think it says. It's some sort of polymer, and it's not an expensive yarn. I mean, obviously I found it, I was going to buy it, well, you know, why wouldn't you? It's not an expensive yarn. It was at the cheaper end of the yarns that I normally buy, but I thought I'd give it a go, and I have finished a pair of socks. Ta-da! It knits up really nice. It's got nice evenness about it. The colours are regular but with enough variation that it's not boring. There is a little bit more pink in this than what I was hoping, I've got to admit. But yeah, it's pink. I'll live with it. It's knit up really nicely. There was no problems with the yarn. There was no knots, no breaks, nothing like that. I wouldn't describe this as a high-end yarn. I'd describe this as it's not a value yarn. It's more, it does what it says on the tin, sort of thing. So these are socks that will go under my walking shoes or whatever, and they will do their job, but they're not going to be socks that I think, ooh, I'm putting those on my feet, or anything like that. But would I buy this yarn again? Yeah, absolutely I would. In fact, next time I go to Hartlepool, I'm going to be calling in, seeing Jen at the shop, and I'm going to be picking up another colourway, because his nibs is looking at them with a sort of covetous look on his face, so I think there's going to have to be a pair for him as well. So that's that yarn there, and I've got loads left. I mean, I've knit these and look, there's loads there. That's probably going to be enough to make a pair of fingerless mitts. Well, hey. Right, so that's our finished objects. Works in progress. Well, if you call it a work in progress, an unfinished object, a half-finished object, there's no getting away from it. I only have one on the needles, and it's the second sock of the pair. So in the last episode, I showed you I just cast on this sock. It's an ankle sock, obviously, and I finished the first one, not the second one. And this is West Yorkshire Spinners yarn, and this is a merino blend of unknown origin that I'm really hoping is machine washable. There's only one way to find out, so we'll have to give it a go. And I just put a different colour heel and toe on just to give it a slightly different feel. I really like that. And the second one is that far down the needles. So realistically, it's not going to take me that long to get this finished, but life has just gone absolutely, you know, it's like a volcano has exploded in my life. I just need to get over this weekend. Once I get over this weekend, things will start calming down again, and I'll be able to get some knitting done. So this is my only unfinished object at the moment. Come back in a few days and I'll probably have 15 cast on. So that leads us to the personal project, the big project I've been working on for about 2 years now, that I mentioned in the introduction. And this is a project which it does contain knitting, or more specifically crochet, and it's an art project. So I went back to university to study a Master of Arts in Photography. I graduated last year, but as part of that I started developing this project which is called the Entropy Garden. And part of that project involves me creating a Clootie tree. So if you haven't heard of a Clootie tree, you've probably seen pictures but don't know what they are. It's where people take rags or pieces of cloth or little banners of some description and they tie them onto the branches of a tree. And this practice, this tradition, dates right back into pre-Christian Roman times and a long way. So, you know, we're talking over 2,000 years in Britain. I think it's a lovely practice. It's all about, you tie a piece of cloth to the tree. Originally it would have been as a prayer or an offering to a deity. So these trees were often associated with a sacred well or a sacred pond or something like that. Later in Christian times, the deities were replaced by saints. So people would make offerings to the saints in the hope that they would obviously put a good word in for them. And the rags, or clooties as they're called, would be left there and they would slowly disintegrate. So you end up with these trees that are covered in all these coloured rags and things that are slowly decaying and fading and, you know, doing what a fabric does out in nature. And as part of my project, I created one. I created one in the garden. And my Clooties are all handmade. And here's a couple. These are 2 new ones. So this is the yarn that I knit a pair of socks for his nibs at, over Christmas. They're not quite finished yet. I haven't put the heels on because I've got afterthought heels. But this is a bit that I took off in order to get them to match up. And this is another bit. This has come from an old pair of socks. So what I do is I use the remnants that are left over from socks or mitts that I make for either myself or loved ones, or I reclaim yarn from old socks or old mitts. Actually, not old mitts, they never get old, they get lost before they get old. So I reclaim the yarn and then I crochet them into these strips. And the strips are then placed on the tree in the garden. And every one is connected to a person and a garment and a reason that they were made, etc, etc. And it all forms part of that project. So I know lots of people do the memory square blankets and granny square blankets and stuff like this. I suppose this is my version of that. I didn't get a chance to film it, the tree, this week in beautiful colour because the weather has been awful. There's no other way of putting it. The weather has been awful. It has rained, it has blown, it has been overcast. I'm slightly forgetting what the sun looks like. So again, I could have procrastinated. I could have said, no, I'll wait till the weather's really nice and then I'll take the camera out down into the garden and just give people a quick look, and that would be me procrastinating again. So I thought I'd take you out in the miserable weather and show you my Clootie tree. And that's my big project. This yarn is from an old pair of socks. This is reclaimed yarn. I'm fairly sure that the yarn originally came from the Natural Dye Studio. I'm not 100% certain, sort of 98% certain. And the socks were frogged, the yarn rewound, kinkiness and all, and then it was recrocheted into this. and next time I go out to tie some stuff on the tree, this will be going out there. So thank you very, very much for watching and all of your support in this new venture of mine doing these little videos. You can find me on Instagram if you're interested, and it's Mara_knits, and I post pictures. I post photos up on there, usually of my knitting in a coffee shop. To be perfectly honest, I'm normally out in a tea shop somewhere and I've got my knitting and I've put it down and I take a photo of it. But you can also reach me via the comments down below and everything, and I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and please like and subscribe if you'd like to stay in touch. Bye!